guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Esty. Today I am going to be sharing with you an amazing resource that will help you to study for and ace your nursing school entrance exams. I just took the TEAS test a couple months ago in September of 2020 and I scored in the 97th percentile, and since that point I've been making a series of videos on how to study for and prepare for the TEAS test. Recently, nursehub reached out to me and asked me if I would like to review their TEAS 6 test packet. So I was very excited to be able to look through it and review it for all of you so that you can see exactly what is included in this test packet and how it can help you to study for the TEAS 6 test. Nursehub also has test packets for the HESI exam as well as for the Wonderlic SLE exam. And so their test packets really cover most of the major nursing entrance exams that there are. But today I will be reviewing specifically the TEAS 6 test packet. Today I'll show you really quickly 3 things about the nursehub test packet. I will talk about what is included in the test packet. I'll share with you how the information is structured in the test packet. And I will also share what I see as the main perks of this nursehub resource. All right, so first let's talk about what is included in the nursehub TEAS 6 test packet. Basically, in this packet, you have 2 major things. You have practice questions and you have practice tests. Now, the practice questions are organized into question banks, and there is a question bank for each of the 4 sections on the TEAS test. So there's a question bank for math, for science, for reading, and for the English language and usage. These questions are super comprehensive. There's over 1,200 questions on these question banks. And so it really covers all of those 4 major sections as well as all of the subsections that you'll see on those 4 main sections of the TEAS test. All of the questions provide very in-depth explanations on why one multiple choice answer is correct and why the others are incorrect. These answers really go step by step in explanations so that you can feel like you really understand why certain answers are correct and then why other answers are not correct. So even if you have not taken courses in these areas for years, the explanations really help you feel like you know what's going on and explain to you the things that you need to know to be able to understand the concepts behind all of these questions. The TEAS 6 test packet also includes 5 full-length practice tests. These practice tests are timed, and they also have questions that are realistic to what you will see on the TEAS 6 test. As I've been reviewing and looking through the test packet and looking through these practice tests, I can definitely say from my own experience that these questions really are very similar to what you will see on the TEAS 6 test. All of the questions mimic the difficulty, the format, and the content of what you're going to see on the TEAS 6 test. What's also pretty cool is that nursehub is constantly updating these questions so that you will always have up-to-date questions on what you're going to see on the TEAS 6 test. And then once you take these practice tests, they also give you a very detailed score report of how you did and specifically which areas of the test you need to hone in on and study a little bit more. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering how much this test packet costs. The test packet is $50 and pass guarantee or a full refund. So what that means is that if you buy this test packet and then you don't pass the TEAS 6 exam, they will actually give you a full refund for this test packet. So that is also one of the pretty cool features about this resource. So now that we've talked about what this test packet actually includes, let's talk quickly about how the information is structured. So this test packet is a fully online resource, and what you'll do is you will set up an account through nursehub.com using your email, and then you'll create a password. Once you've set up an account, then you are able to access the full test packet and practice it as much as you want and in whatever order you want. So you can go through the entire packet from start to end, or you can go to specific sections that you know you need extra work on. For example, you could go to the science section and then you could choose the specific subsection that you know you really need work in. So for example, you could go and specifically go to the section on chromosomes and DNA and practice all of those questions first if you know that that's something you really need work on. So it's pretty cool. You can use the resource exactly as you want and in whatever order you want. When you log into your account and you open up the test packet, you can see the two sections. So you can see the question bank and then you can see the practice tests. And within the practice question bank, each section begins with a quick mini quiz of 10 questions. So for example, if you were to open up the math section, you could click on the mini quiz to begin and answer those 10 questions and get a feel for where you're at in that particular area before you dive into the other practice questions. And after you have that mini quiz at the beginning, there is a list of the subsections that are within that main section. So on the math section, then it is broken down into all the different subsections that you see on the TEAS test, and each of those subsections gives you about 15 to 25 questions specific to that subsection. And within your packet, there's also the section that has the 5 full-length practice tests. And so you can go there, you can take the practice tests in whatever order you want to do. All right, so let's talk real quick about what I see as the big perks of this resource. There are a lot of resources out there for the TEAS 6 test. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll see that I recommend some other books as well. But there are a few things that are really neat about this NurseHub resource specifically. First of all, I think it's really cool that it is fully online. I took my TEAS test as a computerized test, and from what I know, most people take their TEAS test on a computer. And so this NurseHub resource really prepares you well to feel comfortable with computerized version of taking the TEAS test versus the Scantron method of taking the TEAS test. It's also very convenient that since it is online, your progress that you've made can be saved instantly, and when you come back to it, you can just start right up where you left off before. And so that is constantly updating, and you don't need to try to remember where you're at or remember what you've done. It's all saved right there on the test packet for you. But honestly, what I see as the biggest perk of this resource overall is that it is extremely comprehensive. And in my opinion, more comprehensive than many of the other resources that are out there. They have just an incredible amount of questions, over 1,200 questions, and those questions are also already broken down into the different content areas and then sub-content areas. From my experience of using a couple other study books to prepare for the TEAS test, those resources had questions for a lot of the different content areas, but they did not give questions for every single sub-content area. And so this really gives you a very comprehensive amount of questions and covers literally every area that you will see on the TEAS test. So overall, this NurseHub test packet is a really awesome resource. I think it's very comprehensive, and it will definitely give you a feel for what the TEAS test is actually like. So if you're interested in this NurseHub TEAS test packet, I will be putting a link below that you can click on to set up an account for yourself. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in content on nursing, study tips, and lifestyle as a wife and mom to 3, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to this channel, and you can hit the bell for notifications on each time that I upload a video to YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.